do. It is nice. Yeah, looks like we can probably go ahead and get started. We're filling out pretty nicely. Got a bunch of people here. Welcome, welcome. We'll be talking with the founders of Rengoku Legends. And if you guys just want to go ahead, maybe introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about, what you've done before, how you guys met. We can kind of get into the project after that.
Yeah, do you want to go to Jasper?
You can.
You're usually good at starting.
Yeah, maybe it's better if you start because I get carried away with talking.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right then. So yeah, I'm Connor. I am the kind of guy that does all the visuals behind it. I've been a concept artist for many years now in the games industry. I've worked on Battlefield. I've worked on Need for Speed and many other things that I can't talk about. That's the nature of the games industry at this point. Yeah, so I'm pretty much the person who does all the visual stuff, the environments, the characters, the visual bits, the kind of when you look on our website, you just scroll down. It's pretty much most of that stuff. Yeah, me and Jasco met ages ago when he saw one of my pieces. But before I get into that, do you want to jump on, Jasco, and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a quick intro, which is always complicated for me. Like my parents always had trouble describing what I do because it was always a hybrid mix of things. But I founded Drastic Studios about 20 years ago, which was essentially my own studio that with the goal of doing fun digital interactive music things. So that evolved into a studio that basically worked on a lot of campaigns for brands and in the advertising industry. We did a lot of work in music for Hollywood film trailer stuff, sound design for theme parks, for sonic branding for games, and a lot of technology development and just like experimentation in the interactive tech world. So I myself was always kind of a hybrid creative director and sound designer. So, on one hand, I was kind of leading the studio production side of things and the creative vision for, how to execute and build projects. But hands-on, I always was experimenting with new technologies, sensory technologies, interactive installation stuff is a big passion of mine, and of course doing music and sound design. So yeah, all of that experience really built up perfectly for this new Web3 space, because this is essentially an evolution of that whole world, but with no gatekeepers, and that's the exciting part for everybody. I think just being in this early days of being able to kind of like experiment with anything and see what sticks and have fun before things get templatized in a sense. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too long of a. I warned you guys, but I'll stop now.
Yeah, I mean, we could go like where we met, because I did an NFT piece, and it's actually really funny because it all boils down to someone in the chat, Vixpora, I see is listening, gave me the invite to Foundation, and then from there I put on the Purgatory piece that Drasco saw, and then got in touch with me to make something like together, which eventually became Rengoku. So it's actually weird to see. That's kind of what happened from like a little origin story. If Vixpora didn't invite me into a Foundation, then who knows where or what would happen.
That's incredible. Shout out to Vix in the audience. And I mean, the best part about this space is there's so much serendipity, and just by participating, there's all this opportunity and great people that you can meet and come up with these amazing projects. It sounds like you guys have very great backgrounds. You sound like studs from your industries. I'm curious, how many other people do you have on the team? What does the rest of that composition look like?
Yeah, so the team is basically a combination of two studios. Connor has an NFT concept art studio, Fifth Column, and Drastic Studios is my studio. So we kind of combine forces with our resources and experience and knowledge. So the core team is about 6 people. Myself and Connor are creative directors and essentially leading the vision of the project. And on top of that, we have a technical director, an art director for the website side of things, smart contract developer, and then other developers just for the technical aspects of interactivity and web-based stuff. So that's kind of like the core team that's, that are essentially directors in their own area, leading others and bringing in other resources when we need. So yeah, the past year was essentially a pretty intimate team where at points we brought in others to kind of help with, whatever specific specialized things we needed help on. But that's about it for now. I don't know, Connor, if you want to add anything to that.
No, that's pretty bang on.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds like you guys got a top-notch team, in the core, and then you obviously have your great studios behind you. So that's sounds like you got a lot of support all around, and should be able to execute very well. It sounds like the pre-sales tomorrow, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. So before we get into kind of the details with that, just from a high-level overview, looking through, it looks like there's a lot of aspects to what you guys are doing. You have the art, you have the music, you have the animation, you've got, the story behind it all. I'm probably missing some things because you guys are doing a lot, but I'm curious, are the people in the Discord, is the community that you're building, are they drawn to one more than another, or do you see some people like little pockets forming that are super involved in the story, some people that are super tied to the music, or is everyone just kind of loving everything? Like, how does that dynamic look for your community?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Connor. Connor, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So when people come in, we have a general, like, everyone just kind of loves the idea, but it's one problem we've had where people come in and don't realize that all of our NFTs have a soundtrack generated on it as well. So every now and then we'll get someone in saying, "Oh, we need this EP. We need like a full loop of this," but they don't. Like, a lot of the people don't actually have their sound on. It seems when they play our NFT videos, they see an animation, they think that's just it. But yeah, most of the people love the entire thing, but we need we need to make sure we get this EP out because we get a lot of comments listening to Drasko's music and wanting it like full on album.
Awesome. Well, now, yeah, maybe if it's confusing, you know, you have people who haven't fully done their research. Now would be a great time to kind of go through, all those benefits and kind of what you guys are actually building with your project.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we start with our samurai, to be honest with you. So our entry point to what we're doing with Rengoku is these kind of samurai that are going to come in, and we're not going to have a traditional minting system. We didn't really want to have it where someone would come in and then they just click mint and get a random thing and be done with it. We want this to be a more personable kind of process for people, so they can get in and curate their own samurai and customize it, and maybe have a little bit more of a personal touch, a little bit of their own taste to it. Hey, Drasko, can you Mike? We had this on the other Twitter Spaces. Drasko just throws stuff around when we're on Twitter Spaces. Yeah, so people can come on. They can like customize their samurais. We'll have a system where it's not just like you can choose from any object at all, and it's just whoever gets there first. People are going to be able to go through like the helmets or the chests or the ornaments and get a random 3 options to choose from. Then from there, they can just go ahead and make the samurai bit by bit till the end, and then they mint there. So by doing that, we're hoping people will come in, and it's more like an RPG kind of style system we're going for, especially because post mint, once we go ahead and go into our main story campaign, which is we're aiming to have like a large scale D&D style campaign with all the clans coming in. They're going to choose where they want to go in the main storyline, and then from there we can create custom contextual armors or artwork based on that. So really, when people are coming in, they're going to be getting this kind of unique tailored experience for creating the samurai. And then Jaska, did you want to jump into what's happening after they click mint?
Yeah, so after they click mint, what particular aspect are you talking about?
Oh, well, the story system. The whole,
So the idea is that we wanted to create something that continually evolves and allows people to have some kind of direct effect on the story. So what we're doing is like Connor was saying, this is your entry point to the whole story and to the chapters. So after you have your samurai, which by the way, as you're custom your samurai too, we're also integrating like the whole rarity and customization, the personalization element Connor mentioned with the visuals. We're doing the same thing with music. So as your samurai is being constructed, we also have layers and stems of music and audio that's being constructed. So every person there's going to be a whole musical utility and rarity element to it as well. But in terms of what happens after you have your samurai, now you have your character essentially that you're able to start moving through the experience with, which means you're able to access chapter 1, and in chapter 1 now you get to first of all have your immersion in the art itself, but also have an element of making a choice, and that choice is going to have an effect of what happens in chapter 2. So the whole story essentially is, or the whole experience is really connecting what the overall community is deciding and doing, all the clans together, each individual clan, and then each individual person. So we're combining those elements to kind of create not only a sense, but to really create something that's being built in real time with based on interaction and based on what everybody's doing in the story.
Yeah, it's like a personable choice as well, like Jasko said, where how your samurai looks and the choices you make specifically that pertains to your own samurai. But when we get into our campaign, we're going to have this large-scale story that each clan is going to have their own channels in the Discord where they can discuss the events that's gone on and what they want to do next in the next chapter or the next story segment. Where if they want to go one way, they can go one way, and our writers will kind of tailor what happens there. Like if you've ever played D&D, it's essentially that. We're just going to go ahead and do it on a much bigger scale, where every decision that the clans make, we'll do artwork based on it. Clan armors, you've got your music stuff. We are tailoring it to where the community want to go, basically.
That's incredible. I mean, the amount of choice that you're giving to the consumer from the mint to the story, it sounds more than I've heard from any other project, at least. Maybe I'm missing some, but that sounds pretty cool. I've got a ton of questions. I guess we'll backtrack a little bit first before I get into the questions about the story. But in terms of customizing the mint, is that where you're going to get the most customization in terms of the visual aspects of your character, or is it going to is it going to evolve more through the story? I'm thinking about the Indifferent Ducks. We got Ryan H down there rocking one of those, and how you got to choose the different attributes there. Is it going to be a similar practice to that?
Yeah. So you'll come in, you'll choose the attributes, you'll get your options that come up. So you choose your helmet, it will tell you what rarity that slot is going to be, and then you'll get 3 different options that you can choose from, and they're going to look different. They're going to match differently with the other slots that you'll have as soon as you go through your samurai. So by the end, you'll have gone through like up to 6 slots because 2 of them will be random. They're rare slots, and then you'll be able to choose your samurai that way. But then, like we were saying, after mint, there's the whole situation of like going back in. If we've got a guest artist to come in and do some armor sets or an ornament or something, then you can potentially win an armor set from another project or another artist and have their spin on it. And basically, it's like a dynamic rarity system that is going on with it.
Wow, that is incredible. I didn't even think about bringing on new artists and adding kind of different styles of armor, and I think that'll have a really interesting impact on the price of those new sets and the different assets that have them. So yeah, I get just to cap that off, and then we'll go into the story. As we're choosing the pieces, say like I get some options, I don't like them. Am I able to just refresh or like close out the browser, go on a different computer, and get a different one before I mint? Or
No.
Okay.
No. You'll get what you get. And then if you refresh, you should be able to just get your same stuff. It's like if you've ever gone on ahead and gone like, I don't know, if you go to the lottery games when you click when you go ahead and play a game, it will just dictate what you're going to get at that point, and you go through it, and then at the end you'll mint, and then it kind of locks in your decision.
Gotcha. And is there like a time frame in terms of like, so if I'm customizing mine, is it reserved, or could someone potentially take that mint and it mints out before I finish?
It's very, very, very unlikely, but in the event that it happens, it will just come up and say, "I'm sorry, there's been an error here. You'll have to either select another one or re-roll one."
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that's very good to know. And yeah, because I like to take my time with some of that stuff. You know, it takes
Yeah,
a lot of effort and care into it. But no, that's awesome. I love the ability to add choice, and I think it helps you make a connection with the collector, and that can have a very positive. It makes people less likely to want to sell, and they want to hold
yeah,
one that they built themselves.
yeah. And with the customization and like rewarding people for like getting involved in the story or like doing something specific, whether it's a Discord event or outside of Discord, then it rewards people who put in more effort and activity than just like being lucky. It's kind of like a reward scheme in the same way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's a very good positive feedback loop to keep people engaged and enjoying the experience. And then going to the story, you're talking about the customization there, not only in the narrative but in the visual or the music aspects as well. Is that something where you said you could bring on other artists, and it sounds like that would be a whole new piece of armor, right? So
Mm-hmm.
is that something you can is it going to completely replace the old piece you have? Are there options to maybe upgrade one of your current pieces into a better looking version or a more powerful version, or what does that look like?
That's a really good idea because, well, we've been speaking about this and what we could do if we had like say you get a piece of armor that's technically base level 0, but by doing certain things, maybe solving certain puzzles or like collecting a certain amount of NFTs or tokens that we also release in our journey, that by just combining these and having them in a wallet, does your samurai change? Like, does the armor upgrade to like level 1, level 2, level 3, and gets like varying degrees of I don't know, stuff that glows, animation perhaps, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's something we have discussed, and we are looking into doing that kind of tech around it as well.
Yeah, I mean that sounds great. Like just coming from playing World of Warcraft throughout my teens, just non-stop. I'm very accustomed and like the upgrading armor system and always looking for that next piece to look cooler, be more powerful. So I really like that method. And yeah, have you thought about having some sort of bank or storage for old pieces or historic, because I'm assuming that like the people who are super involved, maybe they have multiple and they can kind of store them on different NFTs.
Mm.
But, if I've got one really cool piece, but then you offer another super exclusive one, or it's an artist that I really like, but, they both mean a lot to me. Am I going to have to choose between them?
Well, we're looking at ways that we can have it so, like, say you do win a piece of something from the artist or whatever, and you don't really like it, or it's something you're not really that attached to. We are looking to be able to sell that like as a token that people can then buy for their own, have it like an in universe market, so to speak. Really, I mean, it would be silly not to look at that, to be honest. But yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. I think that, gives even more value to your holders. Would that be like an in-game currency you would use to trade those, or would you, just use ETH?
Well, what we're doing is actually a whole system based around like tokenomics, where we're going to move our Clan War system from the Discord into Clan Wars 2.0, where people will be able to. I can't say much about it, but it's going to be a system to reward people with a token that will act as like a currency that is the foundation of the Rengoku system. So, if you wanted to get physical items, you would use this token. You can redeem it. It's kind of like a currency that you'll be able to buy Rengoku stuff and then sell on the secondary if you need to.
Gotcha. So when you say physical items, are you talking items in the game, or like am I going to get a Rengoku T-shirt with that currency?
Physical that you can touch. I mean, Drasko, we've got some ideas, right? Especially with the EP stuff.
Yeah, we're big fans of tangible stuff too, especially the being able to have fun with connecting the utility and the mechanics of it to the digital world of it. So yeah, we're planning on art packs. I can't say too much about that, but the limited edition vinyl EPs are gonna definitely be a thing we're going to be introducing soon, and the whole music loop system is going to be something that's going to be expanded on, and can't share too much about that either. It would just be too much information at this point. But yeah, there is going to be physical art packs, which is basically vinyl, infinity, digital displays, prints, and 3D prints, stuff like that.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, you guys are doing so much. It's even hard for me to keep up with them.
Yeah.
We'll have you guys run through the roadmap and kind of, maybe break that down a little bit in a second, and kind of what your plans are moving forward. But just to stick with the storyline aspect of things and the clans you're mentioning. Um, so, say Mitch and I are on different clans. Am I going to be able to affect decisions in my that affect just my clan, or is my clan like as a whole affecting other clans? Is it like,
Yeah,
yeah,
so what we're looking to do is obviously we're going to have the same team of writers that's going to take care of like the whole thing. So instead of it just being like, oh, so this clan's doing this and that clan over there's doing whatever, that'll be a bit boring. It's kind of just watching a campaign play out. But we do want to have clans like intertwine and actually have like a path that cross. So there'll be elements where, for instance, maybe one of the clans come across the other one, but then they decide to fight them, and then we'll have to work out how we're going to decide a victor. Is there going to be something where people can stake certain amounts of NFTs, or is it going to be a case of just getting in Discord and like rallying the troops? Different ways of working it out that doesn't necessarily boil down to like we'll just write one in. We want people to actually have a kind of influence over who wins there. And then once that's happened, we can then make, like we were saying, an ornament or like a piece of armor to commemorate that victory that one clan had over the other. Maybe there's like we can design a chess piece that has the torn banner of the other clan on, and then we can give that out to the winners. So there's so much we want to do to make sure that it's not just people watching a story, it's like they're actually telling it as well.
Yeah, that sounds incredible, and I love the competitive aspect of it, and the visual, victory that you can wear around and rep, so no one will ever forget that you beat that other clan. Um, and just in terms of the like decision making, when you're talking about battling another clan, is that something where it's going to be like, you have a checkpoint or fork in the road that says, would you like to battle X clan? And then everyone in the clan has a vote, and then if it's 50% or higher, then it passes? Or what does that look like to actually initiate that contact?
Yeah,
Or be like,
yeah, I'd say that's probably the simplest way of doing it, because what we're going to have is going to turn our Discord into some kind of war room where it'll be interesting to have all these different clans break off into their own little groups, and then we'll be able to watch what they're talking about and why they want to do one thing, and then we'll have this will all be like done via like a web portal or web app or something, instead of like just at the minute it's just our Discord bot that tells you stories, but we want to take that and like flesh that out to the nth degree. So when clans are going to come up, they're not just going to have like A or B. We're planning on having it like A, B, C, D, E, F, and then also we'll tint that or like accent that depending on what we see the clan actually talking about. Like, because when you have a genie wish, for instance, you might not mean that with how it is worded, or like in an RPG system, you want to respond by saying something and it comes out completely different. So we'll have to make sure that when we're seeing how the clans discuss and what they want to do, it's what they like, what they're planning ahead. We can actually make it happen a bit more to what they want to do.
That's awesome. And then we got a question from Mitch here, who's at the Loud Airport, so he can't really ask it verbally right now, but he's asking about, in terms of the artist drop skins, or these kind of limited time drops, are these going to be limited just by specific times, quantity, in terms of first come first serve, or how will those kind of be allocated? And if you've heard of like the templates project, you can always kind of go back and retroactively apply these skins. Is that something that you'd look to implement, maybe not for all the drops? Or I guess, what does that system look like for you?
I mean, we've been totally open with how we can distribute these, because what we're well aware of is the problem you can run into easy is if you say, oh, every single one of the clan gets this, then you're going to run into a lot of samurai looking very similar very quickly. So yeah, they'll have to be limited. Don't know for sure if we'll do like time limited or if it's going to be like the top 5 bidders of the token, will get it, or we'll just raffle it off. Just as long as it's a case of controlling the supply of it so it stays rare and becomes meaningful. So not everyone has it, but everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough balance, right? And I think you could do some creative things with competitions and giveaways, and showcasing that across social media to get the kind of awareness out, and then people will kind of covet that and search for that special rare piece. But yeah, so I think we've got a pretty good understanding of the minting process, the story. Love to just hear a little bit more about your general roadmap and vision. To kind of just go through those points you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to take this one, Jaska?
Yeah, maybe start and then I'll jump in.
Yeah, cool. So obviously, our main thing we want to do is that story experience. That's the thing that was started before we even decided to do a collection. That's the first thing we wanted to do was on the site and have this whole story system. So we're going to be doing that for like well, it depends what you mean by when we want to do it, but we'll also be doing a World of Rengoku environment collection, which is say, don't know the exact number, but maybe 12 to 18 like paintings of the world. So, for instance, a lot of our clans have really interesting towns and cities that they're from, and it'll be amazing to get an actual view of what these would look like. For instance, one of our clans, the Yasai clan, they have treetop buildings that as they swing across it, they'll be able to like jump between the canopies of the trees. Or the Yukiguma clan have like zip lines in mountains, and it'll be great to see them. So we want to do a collection for the environments there, and how we distribute that we've still got to announce. But for our 75% minted goal, we're going to be doing a Curator's collection, which is basically essentially a in-game environment. It's going to be made on Unreal 5. And through this story that we're going to go on, we're going to chronicle it in this environment. So kind of like an art museum where, say, the clans have gone one way, some clans have gone this way, and we've dropped the artwork and the sound. It'll be a good way for people to jump into this kind of actual world of Rengoku. I mean, I could point to where we're going to put it on the map, where they can actually step in and go into this really cool museum. They'll be able to walk through it and see the artworks that we've done with a little bit of description, like a little bit of lore behind everything. We could even include like different wings with the clan's histories. Like if you want to go discover what happens in the Kumo clan, how they came to be, their culture, you could go down their wing, see their statues of the prominent figures, learn about the history, and vice versa for all the clans as well. And that's kind of what we wanted to do as our first step into doing like game dev, because obviously that's my background, that's what I'm passionate about, moving that way into game development from there. But not saying like, oh look, we're going to make an amazing game, and it's like there's about 60 steps between minting and making a game that you need to take it step by step and be smart business wise with it. So that's what we want to do for the Curator's collection. And then if we are lucky enough to mint out, we're going to be making a Ronin collection, which is a smaller one, but they're going to have different utility in our Clan Wars 2.0. And we're hoping that collection is going to be, obviously it's going to be clanless, so we have a little bit more of a kind of artistic license to actually see some maybe character faces or like specific traits that these characters will have. Did you want to add anything to all of that, Drasko?
No, I think that's great. I think that's great.
Awesome. Yeah, I love how, you have ambitious goals, kind of with the game dev and your background, but you're not over promising. You're not saying it's going to happen in a week, or, you're not going to fund it with all this, kind of like a Kickstarter. You have things that you're going to be delivering along the way, and things that are already innovative and exciting for the community to engage in. And, you've obviously got great art, great music, great animation. To focus a little bit more on that kind of art museum environment collection that people can, drop into, as you say, is that what's like the VR experience that was kind of mentioned on the website that you're talking about? And, is there an existing experience you could maybe kind of relate that to? There's On Cyber, there's a few others that I'm blanking the names on, but is it something like that?
You could probably take this one, Jasco. You're great at the VR and spatial audio stuff.
Yeah, I guess the first answer about the Curator's collection, in terms of how that would be viewed, is we're trying to not stick to, we're looking at technology as a secondary thing, right? So the starting point is really looking at like what is being presented and what do we want to communicate emotionally, and what type of engagement is the user supposed to have, and then based on that we think about, how that should be presented. Should something be viewed as, as a regular web page, or should it be a VR experience, and so on. So to first answer about the Curator's collection, I think maybe Connor, you can mention about the Unreal plans and all that, and then I'll continue with the other stuff.
Yeah, so the Curator's collection is not going to be, when we say VR, that's something in terms of artwork. So if you went onto our site right now, and you'll see Join the Ritual, that's a good example of what we say when we're talking about, well, VR is a step above that. That's like a 360 with spatial audio, but that's the kind of artwork we could be dropping. Say, for instance, there's a massive battle going on, and the Hatsuki meet the Aranami clan. We can do like a 360 painting where we can look around different aspects of the battlefield. We can have the spatial audio. Drasko comes in, do all the sword clashes, and we can have a really immersive scene that is one of a special edition like art drops. But for the Curator's collection, that's going to be just an actual in-game environment that we'll be able to like download the client, or if we haven't announced where we're going to be hosting it yet, maybe it's like a metaverse thing, where you jump on with other people. But that is going to be mainly an in-game environment rather than what we're classing as VR. So I think Jasper, if you want to take over there.
Yeah, so then the other aspects of it, just going back to again VR and other types of immersion. I'm not sure how much to really talk about that there. The main thing to really highlight is that we're aiming for immersion. So we want to create we already have 360 and spatial audio scenes that just create a higher sensory experience, basically. So that's really it in the end, without just using a bunch of attractive words and trying to sound complicated. That really is our goal, to create as much of an emotional, immersive, sensory connection as we can. That really was the foundation of this whole experience, really. Like, how do we create something that's very art focused and art based, and take it up a level where it's not just being a passive observing experience, but bring people into the art itself. And that's basically the whole idea behind 360 and spatial audio scenes, that on top of having this kind of interactive experience, that you can be immersed in the art itself. And one kind of like tease example is the ritual scene that we used as the announcement for the mint date. So yeah, I hope, let me know if you guys want me to expand on that more, or if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And we have that announcement tweet pinned up there. We'll get to the dates and, what people can actively do to engage with you before, everything is sold out. But so if you want to take a look at that video, it's up there pinned. You can like and retweet that, give them a follow to make sure you stay up to date. And I'd also, so just going back to the immersion point, I love how, that seems to be very much at the center of your project. From the beginning with the minting phase, you're getting immersed by being able to choose what your character looks like, how you identify, as your samurai, and then you get to choose the path that they take in that journey in the story with their clan, and how they evolve throughout that. So I think, everything you're doing is really focused around that main theme, it seems like, which, sounds like it'll be very engaging and beneficial for anyone who joins.
Yeah, totally. That's really the goal, to provide, a lot of the value in the space right now is very focused on and oriented around, it's almost like a stock market, right? It's just based on when to buy something, when to sell something, when it's going to hit the peak in terms of hype. And our goal is to, introduce this almost like a new vertical, I guess, where it's not just based on that. Like, of course, of course, the NFTs are going to have significant focus on how they build the value in themselves, based on all the stuff we already mentioned in terms of customization and getting more value through, decisions made in the story and how deep in the story you are. But damn, where was I going with that thought? Oh yeah, but our the goal is to create this new direction in the NFT space where there is now another form of value, which is essentially entertainment and engagement, right? Like people actually caring to spend time doing something based on this experience. So I can't even remember what the question was, but is my answer related to anything remotely to what you asked? I can't even remember.
No, that was perfect. It wasn't even really a question, more just
right, yeah,
on what mantra is for the project.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think, you guys explained it perfectly. You're obviously very aligned in your vision. Just since you mentioned it, you're talking about, people trying to time the market and sort of, have the best entry or exit or whatever. I'm curious, you mentioned 8 chapters on the website for this story. Do you have, set big events in the story that are going to happen across these 8 chapters, or is it just something that's going to unfold as the community makes their decisions?
It's we definitely have like certain things that are going to happen in the world. How they happen or when they happen is up to whatever happens with the community and what they want to do. Because we definitely want to have this as sort of like a say this would be book one, and then this happens. Something happens at the end that is going to lead into some other way of telling the story, and that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do it again. That means we can just take book two and do it in a different medium if we want to. It depends where we are at that point.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. So you're saying, there could be huge events, main character X dies or like they fight dragon at this point, but that is most likely going to happen, but based on their decisions, it could happen earlier or later in the story.
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're D&D, when you've made your campaign and then they completely ignore it. You're like, no, can we go this way a little bit? It's like you have this plan in your head that's going to happen, but how it happens is you have no idea how. And it's like with killing characters, we're planning on having like 4 to 5 potentially like main characters per clan that people will be able to learn the histories, and get to know them. But if a clan just turns up on chapter 1 and says, I don't really, we don't actually care about that character. Shall we just off him really early on and be done with it? They can just, if they want to, they can find a way to kill that character. And despite the fact we've poured resource and love into it, that character will just be dead. We'll have like a tombstone in the Curator's collection or like, a memorial, but that character will just be dead. That's it.
rest in peace. That's tough, but that's what makes it great. Yeah, no, I love the D&D stuff, and I'm starting to understand that more. I've actually, my friends just started one. This is my first time playing. Like, we played like a month ago, and then the holidays kind of happened, so we haven't really done much. But I've had one campaign session, so I'm not fully in the dark. But yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun, and that really makes a lot of sense, I think, for the interactive, kind of decision making you're trying to build. But yeah, we're coming up on the 45-minute mark. I think we'll probably start to open it up to questions soon. But before we do, if you do want to ask a question, make sure to request now. We'll get that order set, and then we can get you up here in a couple minutes. But I'm sure we've caused a ton of FOMO in the audience. I need to stop hosting these spaces because I'm just going to spend all my money on every project I possibly because you guys are so cool. But what can someone new just finding out about this project, or someone who's been in the Discord for a bit but hasn't made it onto the whitelist, what can they do to get involved with you, get engaged, and come out with a samurai at the end of this?
I'm not sure what else there is to do really, other than check out the situation on Discord. We're very, our whole team is very responsive and helpful, at least based on what the community seems to be saying. But I think our website really gives a great sense of the feel of this whole experience. So I would recommend people check that out, which is RengokuLegends.com. Preferably on your desktop because it's a rich visual and audio experience. But I think that will give people, a sense of like kind of like what this looks and feels like and what the idea is. And then of course Discord for any, direct engagement with us and finding out details and stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Connor.
No, yeah, that's
Awesome. And can you just explain the different phases of your actual sale for anyone who might be confused with that?
Yeah, sure. Connor, you want to do this one? This is like embedded in your brain.
Oh yeah, times I have to repeat it. Yeah, so tomorrow, which is the 15th of January, at 7 p.m. UTC. It's easy to remember because that's British time as well. So 7 p.m. UTC, 11 a.m. PST is when we'll start the Phase 1 whitelist sale, and that will go for 24 hours. So everyone that's come in really early on and has managed to get Phase 1, they'll have 24 hours starting tomorrow to do that. And then the gates will open for phase 2 on the 16th at 11 a.m. PST or 7 p.m. UTC. And then 24 hours later after that, 7 p.m. UTC, 11 a.m. PST will be public. So it's just a case of gates are opening every 24 hours for the next 3 days.
Awesome. And then do you have any idea, how many will be left for public, or, how many are on phase 1 and phase 2?
Yeah, so by the time we get to public, we're going to have around 3,000, depending on how that goes. So there's definitely time to get in on public to get it.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a healthy number. So, yeah, unless you guys have anything you'd like to add now, I think we could open up to questions and see what everyone else has to say.
Sure. Yeah, let's go for it.
Sounds good.
All right. We got Zickard here. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let's see if we can get you up here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, welcome to the stage. How you
I'm
doing?
doing good. I'm loving the Rengoku vibe. I've been battling the clan wars since it started. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're an OG, mate. I've seen you've been OG since the start.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting way to build community, and I appreciate that. My question was just about the rarity of the traits. I understand there's going to be some gold, silver, and obsidian traits that are going to be the rare ones. So how are we going to be able to see those as we're choosing our traits, or are those randomly assigned afterwards, or how does that work?
Yeah, so basically what's going to happen is, say you'll choose your chest or helmet or something, you'll click it, it'll tell you if you've got a rare or legendary, and it's going to come up as gold, silver, or obsidian. So you'll be able to know, and you're not going to miss out on a rare drop. Basically, I know a lot of people are worried about, oh, what if I accidentally choose one that's crapper or less rare than the other one, but we wanted to make sure that that's not the case.
Cool. So it'll be obvious as we're making our choices tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, good luck on the project. I'm excited.
Thanks, mate. Great to have you.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. That was a great question. And yeah, we got them for, a little bit longer, guys. If you have any questions, please request here and we will get you up. Or even if you just want to, say hi and appreciate them for their time.
Or we could just drop some questions in our chat. I mean, we've got a mod team that is ready. I think they're ready to have a few sleepless nights as well, answering questions. They've been so great the past few days. So just jump in, and if you need to ask any questions, we're always on the server. Ping me. I'm always there at the PC to answer the questions. But if I don't get back to you, just ping me again until I do.
Yeah, if you guys have some questions from your Discord, feel free to, go ahead and answer those as they come up. To take a
I've
look.
kind of been answering them at the same time via text anyway. So I'm not sure. I don't think we've got any more questions. I'm watching it at the minute. But no, I think we're good.
No, you just did such a good explanation of everything that, all the complexities of your projects are just clear as day for everyone, it sounds like.
Well, we and Jasco joke that we do it every day in meetings when we're talking to partners or like collaborators, where we have this kind we have it down to an art at this point.
Yeah, definitely. No, it sounds like you guys know it inside and out, and I mean it is very complex, but very digestible. You can immediately see the value and engagement that you can get in these type of communities. And yeah, I'm excited. Do you guys have names for the clans yet, or are those still?
Oh yeah. We got names for all 7 of them. We've got. Oh, do you think I could do it from memory? Aranami, Funkazan, Yasai, Kumo, Kyoko, Hatsuki, and
Ukigomo.
Yukigamo. Yes, I always did it. Yeah, so the advanced have to write out the bloody clan names. Yeah, so we got all 7, and they each of them have their own little bios of like where they are in the world. We've got a world map as well, so you can see where your kind of clan is located, and it's quite interesting seeing the alliances pop up in the server and geographically where they stand. I mean, we've already seen the Discord have little rivalries, and the Funkenzan clan are probably the richest on the server, so we're going to write that into the story. You know, it's really fun. It's really fun to just jump in and be a part of a community that's like rivals at the same time.
Oh, I love it. I'm getting very Game of Thronesy vibes from this.
Oh,
Not the last season, but the part that. So, yeah. So I mean, between the rivalries, like everything in the story there, what clans are you all a part of? Are you on the same one? Are you trying to take each other out?
I'm Aranami, and all my real life friends have joined that because they think I'm going to make it the most overpowered clan in the world, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I'm in Kyoku, but we'll see if I stick around because I'm kind of traumatized from the snow from my days in Canada. So we'll see what happens on my side if I'm gonna be a traitor and a switch, which may happen.
Kyoku is the best clan. You cannot leave Kyoku.
Yeah, they've got my favorite daimyo though, because in our minting process, there's 7 daimyo that are going to be given to random people minting. So when you go into mint, you're going to be able to choose your clan, and then you'll be notified if you're lucky enough to pull the 1-1. But the Kyoto daimyo is my favorite one, I think, of them.
So with the clans, is there a disparity in like size for these, or are they all kind of around the same, number of people in each?
Oh, okay. I was going to ask lore-wise or not. Yeah. So what we're doing, because of our tokenization system, we want to make sure there's a fair balance at the start. I mean, you can't completely control it because people will be burning and trading and all that stuff, So we're kind of having like 1,242 per clan. So the people that will be minting at the end or customizing right at the end will have a limited clan selection. So we have a Shogun role that people have been grinding for like the past 3 months or so. And the Shoguns are the only ones that will be able to come in first and choose out of all 7. But the people that aren't Shogun will be given a random 3 clans to choose from when they go to Min. So then, like I was saying, at the end of the supply, the people will come in and be given probably less of a choice. But that just means you just need to get there quicker, I suppose.
Yeah, it sounds like I got to get there early, and maybe I need to mint a few to make sure I get the clans that I want. And
Yeah.
so you're talking about switching clans. Even is that something you can do once you have your NFT, or is that too late?
Oh, so in our Discord, when we're talking about switching clans, it's like you can only switch your clan in Discord like once a week. I think it is at the minute. That's the limit. Just because we had the whole balancing thing. Me and Joey, our bot creator, were sitting there and we were like trying to balance it like a proper. It's like a microcosm of how game dev works, where we're just so reactive. We just didn't need any sign off. We were like, okay, let's do this. Did it work? Okay, yeah, sort of. Let's do this now. So with changing clans, when you get your NFT, when you get your samurai, you can't change that samurai's clan, but you can also get multiple clan samurai. So that's gonna make a difference when we do Clan Wars 2.0. I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah. So we're making sure that people have a balanced spread of the clans, so there's not like one that's rarer than the other.
Gotcha. And then you said multiple clan samurai. Do you mean like having 2 samurai, one of each clan, or do you mean
Yeah.
one samurai is in 2 clans?
No. Having multiple samurais that all belong to their own specific clan.
Gotcha. And then, let's say I'm trying to be a little mischievous. Maybe I want to get some info on one of the other clans, and maybe I have a laptop with another Discord account on it. Is that something that is that beneficial?
I suppose you could be a worm. I suppose you can. We'll have to. That's a good point. I didn't really consider some people might be little snakes in the grass of it. Joey, we're gonna have to think of something.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought this to attention in front of
Yeah.
whatever people we got in here. But I would never do that, of course. No, never.
No, of course. But now all the people in this Discord are going onto Discord now to register new emails.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. No, I think that's pretty much all the questions I have. I am sold. I am definitely joining a clan. I want to get involved and take over the world. But yeah, we'll keep it open for a little bit longer if anyone has any other questions. Otherwise, we'll let you guys kind of sign off and get back to building out this universe.
To not sleeping, ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. We need some like music while we wait for people to reply.
Like elevator music or anything.
I know. I feel like I'm the teacher in class. I have to like call on people, to speak.
Maybe you should do that. Maybe pick a random person. That'll be kind of fun. Let's do that.
Bit of space. Go straight to 0 users if you.
I'm throwing some invites. We'll see if we get any.
I'm seeing a lot of Angry Apes army people in here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Connor, should we mention anything about that?
What?
The Angry Apes collab?
Oh, the Angry Apes. Yeah, they're dope. Yeah. Yeah, we're working with them to do some cross-universe stuff. We've done a one-on-one for them. They're really cool. Really enjoy. Go check them out.
Sweet. Is that the only group you're collabing with?
No, we're working with Fiat Lux closely as well. If you've seen them with like the digital stuff, really cool guys. And then we're also working with Celestials. They're minting at the end of January, I think. But we're making sure that we kind of form collaborations with a lot of these projects that have similar ambitions. Because there's some projects that are like, we'll ask, okay, so what are you doing in a year? What's the plan for a year, 2 years? And they're just, I don't know. So we're like, oh, okay, we kind of want to align ourselves with people who are traversing a similar path to us so we can share knowledge, So them kind of projects are just awesome. Fiat Lux, Celestials, and Angry Ape Army.
Yeah, that's great. Definitely want to be aligned there. And welcome to the stage. We have a brave soul, Dom, willing to ask the question. Dom, how you doing?
Excellent.
I recognize this voice.
As soon as the excellent.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say congratulations. This is so exciting. I've never had more fun ever on a Discord, and it's just amazing. That's all I want to say.
Thanks, man. Do you want to briefly mention kind of like what we're planning on doing together and what you're building?
Not yet, but maybe we could tease people.
Okay, we can we'll just say this. We'll announce some stuff in the next 2 weeks, I guess.
Exactly.
We can leave it at that.
Yeah,
cool.
Perfect.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the nice words. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Dom. Before you go, what clan are you a part of? We got to know.
Kyoku, 100%.
Oh, okay. There's too many Kyoku speakers up here.
We're a strong clan. We stay tight. We live forever. Yeah, we're killers.
Awesome. Cheers, Dom.
Cheers.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good perk of being a part of that clan. I think I know which one I'm going to join once I get in there. And
that was literally our worry of like me and Connor joining any clans. It's like we don't want to influence any of this idea of like insider info or boosting anything. But
yeah, a lot of our mods came from the UK Gomo clan, and we were like, you need to spread out.
They're like, no, I don't want to leave my clan.
Yeah, they all. It seems they all spawned from there and just moved and assimilated with other clans now.
That's good. We got the Shogun with no gun. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. I just wanted to say I love everything about the project. Everything looks cool. I like what you guys are doing, and I'm so excited.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And I also had a question. Has the snapshot of the Rengoku coins been taken already?
No, not yet. We're going to do that at a later date. you'll have a lot of notice to when that's going to happen.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm sure there's a lot of people curious. What is that snapshot for? What does that mean? Maybe even what's one of those coins?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the snapshot we're talking about, when we go into tokenization, when we move into Clan Wars 2.0, we're planning on having all our holders be snapshotted on Discord. So in our Discord, there's a currency system. And then at a certain point, we're going to say, right, we're converting now to the real token. Your currency that you have in Discord, we're going to transfer it into real tokens and distribute them. So that's when we're talking about snapshot, that's what we mean. We haven't announced a date for that yet. We'll make sure everyone knows as a big run up to it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it looks like we're kind of wrapping up here. Is there any last words you guys would kind of like to end with?
No, just this has been a very long journey, so we're just pleased that everyone's so invested as we are. So we're just really excited. No sleep in the next few days.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, get used to that. I'm sure you guys already are. You guys have done an amazing job, and we really appreciate you, partnering with Metaverse HQ. We are an exclusive token-gated community with about 1,300 plus unique holders. We're really a family in there with a 24/7 voice chat that sounds ridiculous, but we've got people from around the world there, and you can't really understand it until you've experienced it fully by being in there. We also have an exclusive office hours with NFT Nerds, one of the premier trading tools in the NFT community, giving you real-time data from OpenSea on listings and sales. Can help you snipe some of the Rengoku Legends once they come out, and see how thick their floor is and everything around that. So we have that in 2 hours from now, and then we also have a upcoming partnership with Nansen, another really good charting tool in the NFT space that has some tracking mechanisms. We're going to get a trial with them and a discount coming up. So that'll probably be out to our members tomorrow. And then we've got a bunch of cool spaces coming up next week with 2112 Run, Ugaverse, and some other things that aren't announced yet. But yeah, we really appreciate you all, Rengoku Legends, Connor and Drasco. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone else for showing.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. No, I was just gonna say thank you guys. Thanks to everybody. Like Connor said, that is involved and invested. We're really, our biggest focus and stress is really to provide as much value in engagement and entertainment as possible. So well, we promise to keep doing that as much as we can. And thank you guys for hosting us. Really appreciate it, and hope to continue doing the stuff with you guys too. So yeah, thanks to everybody, I guess.
And then the Yasai want me to congratulate themselves for winning the last clan war. So just watching the chat for now. All right.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing is watching the Discord chat during a Twitter Spaces. But yeah, from our DGen community to yours, we appreciate everyone for coming out. We might have to start a Metaverse HQ clan, in Rengoku, kind of take over one of those and see where that happens. But yeah, more to come. Excited for your pre-sale tomorrow, and